Welcome, everyone, to episode number 82 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast, the Creators Series. And this is the final episode of 2021, and we're welcoming back the OG himself, JayTrey.
JayTrey!
Yeah. How long has it been? Like a year and a half?
Yeah, I was about to say it's been like a year since we did the year in review.
The year-end thing, which we didn't even get to post because it literally, we ran over time by like half an hour.
I know.
So,
it was dumb as hell.
And per request of our friend Timmy the Boy, who got you here as a guest to end the year off. So, I mean, most people probably know who you are if they follow Proven Knowledge. They know your music and stuff. But if they don't, just let them know who you are.
So I'm JayTrey. I am an Ohio MC. It sounds like my Spotify bio. Yeah, I'm just a, aspiring MC. I'm a co-partner in Proven Knowledge with U Church, obviously. I do a bunch of stuff to push my music forward, along with working with other artists. And I like just to make my hip hop music authentic and real, and take it to another level that hasn't been seen before. And like with our message to people, like when we started Proven Knowledge, about being creative and being true to yourself, and showing creativity, that still stands with what we got going and what we plan to do with it. And obviously, me and you, we take the brand a lot further than we normally show. We try to come up with new ideas and stuff for it. So yeah, I'm just sticking with the plan.
It's crazy to think we're already 5 years into this though. It feels like just yesterday we were starting out and everything again. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. So I mean, for you, I guess we'll start with your writing process and everything. I'm pretty familiar with how you start. I'd say you probably start with the hooks more than anything. I feel like every time we work together, it's I'll just play beats and you'll just start with a killer hook or something, get the hook down, and then go to verses and stuff. But I mean, you're the one that does it, so you can pretty much explain it better,
because it's like when we went on that trip with to California to see Uncle Lee, and one of the lessons that stuck with me is always start with the hook, always find a hook, and even sometimes when songs don't call for hooks, I'll still have a little something in my head to go off of, because I think the hooks basically build the foundation for what I write about. Because if I can make that, I think that's the hardest part for me, is making the hooks, even though I sometimes come up with them super easy, and you see them happen fast here and there. But it's one of those things where without the hook, I don't know where the song's gonna go. So I kind of need that little grounding to take it, because writing the verses is super easy once I have an idea and what I know what the song's gonna be about. So that's pretty much how I go into it. And then, like I said, I listen to the beats that you make or someone else makes, and I just know the vibe of the song. I just try to fit the tone to, see it how I envision whoever produced it would want it to come out. So I just try and just follow that vibe and just keep within that range. And it's really helpful because, I sometimes have writer's block and I don't know what to write about, but then when I hear a beat, I hear a certain story, or I hear a certain type of song in it that just inspires me to write to it, and then I just get something off. And then obviously you've seen we've made a lot of good shit, especially when
we've made hundreds of songs at this point. Yeah, I swear to God, and
it might be thousands at this
honestly, because I feel we, out of all the shit we've made, we probably only have maybe 10% of that's out or gonna come out.
Oh yeah,
there's so many songs we made just never gonna come out because it's just practice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because of the songs we did early on in the days, songs that never touched albums, songs we did with Alan, songs we did with other people that just aren't out. And it's just it's a large amount of quality of songs. I'm not necessarily saying all of them are good.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones.
There's a lot of bad ones.
For me, for sure, there's a lot of bad ones.
There's a few bad ones in there. Don't get it twisted. But I think we've come into our own. We know when something's good, and we know because me and you will go whenever we're making an album, we're just oh, that's definitely album worthy. That's a good track, that's a dope track, and we just balance them out. And then sometimes we interchange songs. We're oh, well, we like this song, but this song definitely hits better than this. It's one of those things where we've grown enough that we can like figure out what works and what doesn't. And I know when I'm trash, or like you'll know when you don't feel something in a beat. So like it works, it coincides with each other, because we both know we can do better, and like we know that we're able to make better So like we just always try to push each other, I guess.
Yeah. So since like me and you basically started at the same time, I know for me, like just being consistent over the last like 5 years, just doing it every single day has been a huge thing for me, just to feel like I'm getting better and like working with different people and stuff. So for you, like as a rapper and as an artist, like have you felt kind of the same? It's just like doing it more and more, you've gotten more comfortable with it, like compared to where we were 5 years ago? Because I feel like we came in, we didn't really know anything about what we were doing. We just kind of started doing it and just getting the hang of it and making it like a repetitive thing. Yeah. So is that like, do you share the same like sentiment kind of? Like you feel the same way?
So
just
like,
doing it over and
so
over?
making music has been a blessing and a curse for me, because like when we started doing it, like obviously we didn't know what we were doing. We just kind of went on a whim thinking that we could, you know, make some music. But as time went on, like how you do beats every day, like I'm basically studying every day, because like I will listen to like all kinds of music. That's why like I'll tell you about all these like artists that I listen to and like all these people, because I like to like study like what makes people enjoy this person's music, like how does this person say their words, or like how do they change their flow, like what flow do they use, how do they get creative with the storytelling. And like it's been like that for the past like 3.5 years, where I've like been like able to just study music, and that's a problem for me now, because every time I hear a song, now all of a sudden I have like this idea in my head, like, oh, what if I did like this song, but like this story could be like this, or like what if I rap like this, but like in a different
like kind of start overthinking it.
Yeah, because like I listen to the lyrics and I'll call out the genius bars. Like most people just listen to it and like, oh, this is great, but like me, I'm just like surveying what they're saying and like how they're going about saying it, whether that go from like someone like Young Thug to like someone like Nas, and like I listen to what they do and the sounds that they do when they make music, and that influences me to come in here and put together what I've been listening to and making the music that we make. So like, and on top of that, like I'll write out songs, like when you send me beats, and I'll just like write them out, and then sometimes I feel them, sometimes I don't. And then like it takes me a while. That's why sometimes I'll hit you like, oh, I don't have a song to record, because I'm like just, you know, still writing it, or like I'm just practicing it, and then I'll go over it in my head like hundreds of times just to make sure that I feel it before I come in here, because I don't like to, you know, waste time when I'm in here. I like to, if I have an idea, I'm gonna lay it down for you, and then we're just gonna get it done. But like if it's something that I'm not feeling, then I just kind of like use it as like a practice, or I save it as like a reference for a song later.
It's for something else.
Yeah. Because sometimes some of the verses that I spit in here are just old like verses that I wrote that I just wasn't feeling at the time, but now with a new beat and a new direction, now I can bring that back. Because that's what like the Odyssey, like some of those verses were just retired verses that I had with like other beats, or like with other people like Alan or Brandon, and like and I just put them on because they fit better and they sounded way better. So like it's one of those things where like I'm always making sure I have like verses ready, like, and I have like different artistic styles ready. It just always has to fit the sound of it. So like it's one of those things where I just kind of like take it as a token of like my work ethic, that like I'm able to not only create on the spot, but like I have something in the back burner in case like I can't think of something, and I just want to see if it fits in this little slot, because I still have like verses in there. And sometimes it'll hit me like when I'm driving around, I'll have like a little like hook in my head, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta write that down. Like I'll be at a red light just like and just writing that down, and then like I'll be like, okay, I need Church to send me a beat that fits this hook. Okay, cool. And then that's how we get going.
Yeah, you just stack ideas basically. Because I'm the same way. I just like stack ideas, even if they don't get used. It's like it's good to just know that there's something you can fall back on and be like, okay, I got all these songs. We pick the best ones, and we just go from there and everything. So
right.
So you mentioned like studying MCs and stuff. Who right now you think you're studying the most? Like, is it someone that's been has dropped an album recently? You're studying anyone specific?
Yeah, I mean, I've been studying. Obviously Nas, because that King's Disease 2 was crazy. Yep. So like, I've been studying him. I've been studying Lil Wayne. I've been studying a lot of Big Sean. I've been studying some other people that aren't necessarily big rapping, like lyricists, like Baby Keem, Young Thug, Travis Scott, and just, you know, like I like to get different, because I don't want to stay one-dimensional with it. So like I switch between like different people and genres. So like with the rapper side, it's like those guys, and then I switch to like some like R&B, like Bryson Tillers and The Weeknds and Frank Ocean, Black, and even some female artists like Janae, SZA, Tiana Taylor. Like it's just a list of people that I like to listen to that like influence how I look at music, and like I've been studying how they, you know, make songs work and how that they can make it so it's engaging and it's not, you know, a retired thing. It's something new every time, or it's something that like sparks an interest in you, you know, and that's what I want to do. Like whenever I make music, I want to create stuff that is new and it sparks interest and keeps you engaged the whole time, you know.
How heavily are you on like maybe people, just let's say listeners or fans, like when they give you feedback? Because I know you've told me personally about people that gave you feedback. Certain people have like mixed messages. They're like, oh, I didn't like this song, but I like this song. Does that ever like influence what you're doing, or you kind of just do what you got to do and do whatever you want? Like you never really thought about
not like
how you approach that?
Like, because I knew going into this that like there's probably gonna be people that don't like what I put out, and that's fine. Like music is subjective. I don't hold you to it. If you feel that way, cool. I just know when I make music, because like before I was making it obviously to like please people, and like I thought I needed that like perception of people to like say I was good. But like then I just was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna make stuff for me and just make stuff that I enjoy to listen to. And if you don't like it, whatever. If you do like it, I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. That's why when people like with the Epitome of Chaos album, like more people hit me up about this album than any other one, saying how great it was and like how they enjoyed it. And that's good. That's cool. If someone were like to be like, hey man, like I liked some of these songs, but overall I thought this song was like trash, and like this song was, and I'm like, that's fine, man. I appreciate you listening. Thank you anyway. Thanks for your, you know, critique. Because one of my good friends, he gave me a full like Bible's long review.
Of every song.
Yeah, like of every song. And he told me the 2 songs that he didn't like, and those are some of my favorites on the project. So like I was just like, oh man, you know what? I respect your opinion. You know, thank you for listening. Like it's something that I don't dwell on too much, because I'm just like, I know that I'm good enough to make music, and I know I can put out good music. So when someone tells me something's not good, I don't take it to heart. I'm just like, whatever. I'd move on with my day, because I know that's what happens. Because even like artists that I love still have critics, you know, and people that hate their stuff. So like it comes with being in the business of it. So you know, you kind of have to be mentally prepared for that battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're 4 or 5 projects in now. I'm trying to think.
Let's see.
In total, Self-Expression.
Yeah.
Basilia. Phoenix.
Phoenix. Yeah.
The Odyssey, the one with Alan, which was what was it called? Sonnet.
Yeah, Sonnet 116.
And
Epitome of Chaos. So that's 6.
6.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
And it's been technically 4 years of releasing music.
Yeah.
Is there any of those, maybe a song or one of the projects that's like a standout, like when you were making it, it was just very like special, or something that you remember specifically, like where you were when you were putting whatever together?
I will say, when me and Jordan made Made Men, I think that was like one of my favorite experiences, because not only did that catapult the whole Odyssey album, because it just started off as it was just gonna be one song between me and him, and then it turned into a whole thing. This, like, it was fun because like I had someone to rap along with and like compete with a little bit, and like it was a special moment, like, because I sent my verse obviously to him, and then he's like, oh, okay, cool, I'll write something for you, I'll get it back to you in a few days. Got back maybe 2-3 days later, something like that, and we heard his verse and we went crazy. We were just like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like we were just so blown away. So then it pushed me again to be like, oh, well, I gotta rap another verse, because I'm not gonna let him out rap me on my own song, because at the time it was just gonna be my song. And then like I just remember how like I was like, this has to be on an album. I don't know if it was gonna be, because it was originally going to be on Phoenix, I remember.
Yeah.
And then like we were just like, nah, we'll hold that. We want to hold that for later. Like, we'll hold it for something else. And then, like, it was when we were making the Odyssey that I was just like, okay, me and Jordan have good chemistry. We need to make an album. Cause we had been talking for months about like doing more songs together. And finally just conversation just came up. We need to make a whole project together. And Made Men, I needed that to be the last song because I just knew how important that was, because it was the song that started it all. And I had so much fun making that whole project with Jordan that like that song just still stands out to me. Even though I like more songs on it than that one, I still like the experience I had with that song because it cultivated a friendship. And then without that song, we would have never gotten to meet Carter and then like Liu Kang and then Luigi and like all these guys. So like that song like stands out to me among the rest because like it made us known to more artists' friends, and like we became more well known with other people, and it was just a building of relationships from that song. So yeah, I'd take that song.
And it's crazy how like that kind of just came out of thin air, like the whole album thing, because I remember it was like we basically started in July and it was out in December. Like it was really like a 5 or 6 month process of the album itself. And it was just like the verses would come in, like we'd send the beats away, and then he'd send his verse back, you'd record something, send it back, and just keep doing that, and then bam, we had the 10 songs. And we're just like, let's just do this album. Like it was probably the quickest and like the least thought out thing ever, and it was just like, bam, this is an album. But it was great and people loved it. Like even like I feel like your fans loved it and his fans also loved it too. And it was like, because I remember everyone telling me like the production and just the way their style, your guys' styles were meshing, it was like the best of both worlds, but something new at the same time. Like it was like a totally new thing, just completely off the cuff, like out of nowhere.
And like you said, it was something that just came together rather quickly because we had just been talking about the idea for like maybe a month or something like that, and then like I was just like, you know what, let's just do it, like because I think I was working on Epitome of Chaos, and then I was just like, you know what, let's take a break from that, let's work on this, let's do this first before we release Epitome of Chaos, because like back when it was called like Panorama.
I forgot about that name.
Exactly. It was called Panorama for people that want to know, but like that was the original name of Epitome of Chaos. But like then I was just like, I need to make this album with Jordan and do the Odyssey, and that came around like really well, honestly.
And we put it out the week before Christmas. We literally just threw it out at the end of the year. We're like, here's just this real quick thing, and then
by the time this is out, it'll be the 1 year anniversary.
It's crazy.
I know.
Literally like the same week. Right? So obviously Jordan, you've worked with Jordan a lot. You've worked with some other people. Is there anyone that's like maybe you want to work with them again, or you're looking to work with, maybe like an indie artist, or it could be a bigger artist? Like, do you have anyone like in mind?
I want to work with Jay Foster. I don't know how we're gonna make it work, but I want to work.
You have mentioned that before.
Like I want to work with him so bad, and it's like I don't know what needs to be done, because I think it could be like a collaborative effort, like we call it Jay Foster, because like it works.
Jay.
Like it works, and like it's such a good thing, and like he's such a talented like singer. So like I want to do something with him, like. Because I've had all these R&B like ideas, like I want to do an R&B type of like EP or something, and I was just like,
this could be like the Jay-Z R. Kelly thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not promoting R. Kelly, but this could be like that.
Similar thing.
Yeah, similar thing. This could be just like that, but better.
Like obviously, like he's talented. I really want to work with him. I want to work with Liu Kang, because that song that we made never came out. I think we can make something. Maybe as good or better than that, but I thought that song was really great. I think I really want to do something with Carter. I'm really hoping he sends me that song back that we sent him like forever ago. I might hit him up about that. But like I really think like other artists like Cherry would love to work with her again. There's like a ton of artists that you like work with that I want to work with, like Mike Dance, and like. As far as bigger artists go, like if I ever do get really big, obviously I'd want to work with Jay-Z. Jay-Z's definitely top of the list. Eminem, Nas, J. Cole, definitely Anderson .Paak, especially after that Silk Sonic album. My God, that was amazing. And then like people like Ariana Grande, Halsey, Janae. Kalani, maybe Childish Gambino in there as well. Like just a few of them. There's obviously more, but like those are like the main people that I would love to work with on stuff. And like I like to do different styles. So like I would just want to test myself and test my pen with multiple different people, like, and just, you know, stay like in that elite status of like I can do everything. I can balance every genre and just bounce over and do whatever, and I still fit in there. Yeah. Like cause like how Drake can like go do a hip hop album, then he can do like a pop album, then he can do an R&B, then he can do like reggae, and then like you know, I want to be able to do that and just bounce in between genres like that and be very versatile like that.
Just keep evolving the sound basically from like point A to point B and then do something else, but have it all make sense for like your brand and like what you're doing, how you approach it and everything. So
exactly.
It's funny because I was in a clubhouse room with another one of Jeremy's friends the other day, who's from Chicago, Nehemiah Heckler. He's a rapper. I feel like you would like him. I got to show you his music too. Yeah. But like, I feel like we got to figure out how to make the collaboration happen, like somehow, like, because we have talked about going to Chicago. So like maybe we could do that. I don't know, because I know him from there. I know this guy Jay Maurice from there, who's a really dope. He's a rapper. He's from Detroit, but he's in Chicago. He's friends with Jeremy. So, like, I think it'll happen in due time.
Yeah, like eventually, there's a lot of collabs that we still have to do. That we're working on with the project we're working on now. We're trying to get collabs for.
Yeah, so
like, there's obviously Timmy the Boy, too. Yeah. The one that recommended me to be on here.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that even if that doesn't happen on the song that we sent him.
Yeah, like, I'd still like to work with him on some stuff.
I think... and like he's in town too, so that could definitely
makes a lot
come
of
to fruition eventually.
Yeah.
So the last like year or so, obviously, there's been a lot of stuff in the world happen and everything. For you, I'm curious to know, like, has there been any type of hurdle or big struggle as far as like how you approach your music has gone in the last year? Or have you kind of just been going like normal, like how it used to be? Or
I learned like in the last year, I need to live life in order to, you know, make good music. Because like for the longest time, I was just being super introverted, and like I felt very like lazy and like didn't, you know, want to go out in the world a lot. Like I would go out obviously to hang out with you and do music, or like hang out with you guys at like the restaurants, person's house. But like it was just like in the last year I realized I need to do more. I need to like go out and have experiences, because like I can't keep rapping about the same stuff like over and over, because those subjects are gonna get tired. I need to like come up with new stuff. So I started, you know, going out like a lot more and experiencing. I started going out with, you know, more people. Like I started traveling a little bit more, going to like New York and Cincinnati, Kentucky, and like I also got more involved with my, you know, spirituality. So I started meditating more and, you know, going out of my comfort zone with that, and, you know, learning about more chakras and stuff, and inner peace. I started reading more, reading a lot of books to, you know, not only self-empower, but also keep me knowledgeable about stuff. So that way, like when I'm writing something, I'm, you know, not stumbling to think of stuff. Like I know what I want to say, and like I know this story. Like because some of the times, like I like to, whenever I'm creating, like sometimes they might be related to my life, and sometimes it might just be an experience that I've noticed, and I just made like a song about it. Like, so like some of the times you might not be able to blur around. So like, did this really happen to him, or did this not? Like, so like I like to keep that element of it, where like I have the ability to be like, this really happened to me, this is the story, and I put it in a song, versus like, oh, like I had an experience and I seen this, and like I'm writing from this point of view of it, and like, you know, just taking it from there. So I learned a lot because of like being holed up from the pandemic and everything, and being inside all the time and not having much to do, that when everything did open back up, I wanted to, you know, go out and do more and do new experiences and do a lot of like things that I have made excuses not to do. So like that was my main thing that I wanted to come over.
And it probably sparks more inspiration too to do that, because it's like you said, if you're just doing the same things over and over again, what do you even have to write about? Because you're just like, my life is on autopilot. There's really nothing new happening.
Right.
You kind of got to kick like the chair out from under you and be like, I got to go experience this and do this new thing, and just like like you just said, like to live a lot and just see what happens.
Yeah, because like I'm sure like when you went to Dallas, like you know, that was a whole different experience for you, and then like it probably like opened a lot of things for you because like you had this whole new experience in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, every time you travel, you bring something back too, and be like, oh, now I want to kind of put this into my music and figure out what I want to do that way. So, with that in mind, you're probably going to get bigger and bigger as you keep going up, right? Like you're going to get more fans, probably you're going to be more well known. How have you ever put any thought to like how you're going to balance your personal life and your career? Like how separate do you want to keep the two? Are you trying to have people know a lot about your personal life, or you want that totally separate? Like have you ever put any thought to that whole thing?
I want to, when I get to that point, I do want to be transparent with people. Like I don't want to like hold too much back, but like there's certain stuff obviously you want to keep to yourself, like you know that this is your special thing. Like but like I have no problem like sharing like stuff like life experience that I've had with people, and you know telling stories about like my life, and like it's not a problem for me. Like if I were to get to that point and like you know people ask me questions about it, like I'd answer honestly. But if it's something like you know that's personal to me and like me alone, then like obviously I won't touch a base on that. I'll just be like next comment or you know next question, and you know just move on with it. But like I am like looking forward to like sharing more stories and like you know giving people more experiences, because people relate to that, because everyone you know has stuff that goes on in their lives that they can relate to. So like if like my stories can help someone because they know that they're not the only ones dealing with it, then I don't see why not. I don't see why I can't tell people that. You know?
It's because have you watched the Kid Cudi thing that just came out, the documentary yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. I love the part, well, I don't know if I love it, but I found it interesting, the part where he talks about the success he had from the first album, right? And how, like, Man on the Moon's his biggest album still. Yeah. It's revered as, like, one of the greatest albums. He said that he was trying so hard to get all the success and get all the attention, and then when he finally got it, he wasn't prepared for all these people asking about the stuff he was talking about in his music, like his dad passing away and like him being a lonely kid and all this shit. Yeah. And he said that really like messed him up, and that kind of led him down a dark path. And he's like, I never would have thought that sharing that with fans and stuff and being open in my music would lead to this. And then it became a bad thing. Like it almost flipped on itself, kind of. Right. And I was like, I never really thought about how that could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
Mess with your mental a lot.
So I thought that was really interesting. But I guess it just goes based on the person. Like, how do you view what you've been through personally, and how do you want to put it in your music and things like that? How do you want to present it to people? And like you said, there's obviously stuff you don't want to give everything away and just be like, I don't think anybody would ever do that. Like, I don't think anybody would ever like take their deepest, darkest, whatever, and always put it out there. You know what I mean? But at on the flip side, it's like, yeah, you can't help people though, because there's other people that don't have the platform to do it, to like get their voice out there. Right. So if you have it, you want to help the other people. You know what I mean? Like you want to reach back and like lift these people up and stuff. So
exactly, yeah.
I think it's like it's almost like one of those catch-22s, honestly, where like there's a good and bad to both sides of the whole thing, but it's just like it just comes with what music is, I guess, at the end of the day.
Right, exactly,
so,
yeah.
But I think it's all just in how you approach it. So I don't know if you've thought about lasting impact. I've been asking this question a lot. What do you think you want your lasting impact of your music to be when it's all said and done? Like when people hear a JayTrey song or a JayTrey project, whatever, what do you think you want to leave them with at the end of the day?
I want to leave them with the greatest experience with music, honestly. Like, I want people to look back on it. I want people to say this is a classic. And, like, I want the lessons that are in it to, like, reflect on people. I want the music itself to speak to people and, like, they relate to it. They want to play it back over and over. Like, that's the thing that I love when I see, like, when I'm looking at my stats, that people have been listening to this song over and over and over, and like it's in like certain cities that they're playing it over and over again. So like I want that lasting impact where like even like if like one album just takes off for me and I like don't have others that take off, at least I have that one thing that everyone can say, this is a classic. I want this like this JayTrey, like, you know, and, you know, this is something that I look to that saved my life, or like something that helped me through a dark time. So like I really want that lasting impact for people, like how Lauryn Hill has Miseducation. Yeah. Like I want that impact where like she hasn't dropped another album. But like people still go back to that.
It's been like 20 some years.
Right,
like,
exactly. Like I want that. That's something that I want. And like that's what I look for when I make music. Is like I want something that isn't like just fast food music, like that you just come and you go and it's just like, oh, yep, he did it, cool, on to the next thing. Like I want something that like people are gonna be like, it's the 5-year anniversary of this, or it's the 10-year anniversary of this, and like, you know, just keep going back to that.
I still always think about when I did the interview with Joe, our engineer Joe Lewis, who was on the show. He literally just talked about you, and he was like, I didn't even bring you up, I don't think, but he's like, I always loved Jay's like attention to detail, especially when it came to like the albums. He was talking about Phoenix, and he's like, I loved how he put like the skits in there, and he like thought of a whole storyline to go with the music, and how the sequencing was great. Like I've always thought that you have like that all kind of figured, like you really get into detail with it, like especially in like an era where a lot of people don't do albums anymore and they don't really pay attention to albums and stuff. It's like, I think we both share that same like sentiment of like albums are still important because like people remember albums. They remember like the moments. Like you always remember, I think I mentioned this in another episode, it's like you always remember where you were when like this certain album came out. Like you remember like you were in high school when that came out, and like I remember being in study hall listening to this song, and these are my favorite tracks and stuff. So it's like, I still feel like that's an important part of music. Like definitely leaving like the hardcore fans with something they'll always like draw back on.
Well, I see whenever I make albums, I see it as like I'm making a soundtrack to a movie, and like it's just going down like the track list. Each track is a new scene, and like it's a new like vibe, and like you're just getting to that point where you get to the climax, and then you get to the conclusion of the whole thing. And that's what I look at whenever I do albums, and that's why I come up with different stories. Like the Epitome of Chaos thing, I just wanted to make it like its own like act, like a show. Like it's like
because I think you said what, like the carnival was kind of like an inspiration, or like a carnival show, or like a stage show was kind of the inspiration for the album.
Because like I was just like, oh, like what's chaotic more than like a stage performance? Like, because there's so many colors and so many people on stage that just want to go out and just give out their best performance, and sometimes it gets wild and out of control, and you get people running through the stands and running all over the stage and musical numbers, all that. That's why I went into Epitome of Chaos with that in mind, because I was just like, this is what I want. Like, hey, this is the performance of Epitome of Chaos. Here's the first act, and then like they just go down the line and just go through it like a play, and then you have that final applause at the end that everyone's just giving like the round of applause like at an end of a play. So like I just wanted to give that. Now like with the project that I'm working on, not this one, but the next one, I have an idea that is definitely going to be a lot more touch base with realism and like real problems that's facing normal human beings as well as like the country. So like I like when we get to that, we're definitely gonna have fucking fun with that. That's just what I like to do. I like to make them like soundtracks to a movie almost.
So what is next? Obviously, Epitome of Chaos is out right now. What can you reveal that's coming next? Music? I don't know, visuals, anything else? What is next? I kind of know, but you know, for people that don't know.
I mean, me and Alan have that song that like I want to put out. I don't care. We're gonna put it out whether he wants it or not. Because I paid money for it now, so like it's
paid the engineer.
Yeah, so like it's coming out. Like I'm not wasting money. We have that. We have a mixtape that's coming up that I wanted to do. It's a sequel to, I can tell. It's a sequel to Basilia. It's Basilia 2. It's basically, it's not going to be as conceptual as the first one. I think it's just more so, I just wanted a good group of like fun songs to put together, and then we just put them in like a mixtape style, and then we're just going to put it out. That might come in the springtime of next year. Still working on dates, we don't know, but and we're still waiting on features to get back to us, because we want to get features on this thing too. So that's in the works. And then obviously, like I said, I have another project. I always keep projects in mind. Like I know, like as soon as I'm done with this one, this is the next idea, and then this is the next idea, and then like so on and so forth. And then like
planning like 4 or 5 years ahead, just to see like where it goes and stuff.
Right. Like I have like my whole thing like planned out as far as like where like I want my career to end, like the ending album. That's what I want.
Yeah. anything else other than music that you have thought about doing?
I want to. I've been honestly trying to get this podcast off the ground. So you have on the Proven Knowledge thing another coinciding podcast. So it's not just you. And I wanted to do it because of how we used to do the podcast, where we would just talk about stuff that's going on in the real world. That's what I want to do. I'm planning on doing that here within the next year, maybe early in the springtime. I want to officially get it going. I just got to get all the right equipment and stuff, and obviously I moved, so I got to get my space set up for that. But yeah, that's something that's in the works, as well as merchandise. We want to get the merchandise going, and I do want to film music videos for the mixtape. I know I've said I wanted to film music videos in the past, but I really desperately need to film a music video. And now that we know people that can film for us, now that's actually within grasp. So I want to do that, and then I want to eventually actually perform at a venue. Because me and you, we went to the Timmy the Boy show, and we saw that. I want to do something similar to that. Do my own show. Maybe not as creatively as he did, because he did an amazing job. I thought it was well put together. I would rather do something where I could just perform my songs just laid back and just in a nice venue, and just have people listen to music and just have a good time, drink, whatever. So yeah, that's something that's in the works for me.
So last few questions, obviously these are questions that are asked to everybody. So if you could go back 10 years ago, give yourself a piece of advice, maybe not change anything at all, what do you think you'd do?
I would honestly have started music a lot earlier. I feel like we kind of just jumped on it after high school. But I wish that I would have studied music a lot more, because at that time, 10 years ago, talking 2011, this was when I was just starting to get into music. I was just listening to radio stuff for the time, and the stuff me and you would listen to. But I didn't really get into the underground scene until going into high school. So I would tell myself hey, study up, learn about the music industry, get yourself out there, make connections. Because there's certain things that I wish I could do. I wish I could have started when Miko had started. Because at the time I just thought, oh, I could never be a rapper. I couldn't do that. I don't have the equipment. And I thought it was so cool that he was doing it. And I was low key jealous of him because I wanted to do that, and I thought I couldn't do it. But I wish I could just go back and be do this with and learn about the business how we know now, and just take that and just go through and make connections, take trips, go out and make connections. I'd also stop myself from going to Walsh University, but that's just stuff I would do just to because of what I know now. I wish I could have started a lot of this sooner, and I wish we could have known about this stuff sooner, and that way we could have once we're out of high school, oh, we know what we got to do. We got to go here. We got to do this. We got to do that. We could have probably built a fan base a lot faster, because we were in school, and it could spread word of mouth through the school, and then we got people going out. Because I think that's what helps a few of these guys. Because I started with nothing. I was already fresh out of high school, and I started making music, and I had support, but I probably would have more had I started when I was in school, and people knew me, and it could just pass around word of mouth to everybody, and everyone could know, and then I could have a little stronger of a fan base. I kind of had to build the fan base up over the years, and it's in a good standing right now. But we could definitely have gotten probably a lot bigger. But that's something that I would probably just change.
I think about that too a lot, but then I think the maturity level wasn't at the point where, at least for me, where I think I would have succeeded. I think I would have started and then given up and never went back. So I think the fact that I started when I did is the reason why I haven't stopped, because I was I really got to do this. There's no more school. I just got to do this and just keep going. I think if I was in school, I remembering how I was then, I'm I just dabbled in a bunch of different shit and didn't stick to anything.
Yeah.
So I feel I always think about that. I'm yeah, I could have started earlier, but probably wouldn't have worked out the way it is now. Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
But you never know. Like,
exactly.
You'll never know because it never happens. So.
Exactly.
But interesting thing to look at for sure. So 10 years from now, then, where do you think you want to be in your life and career?
Hopefully in a nice big house. I want to be the owner of my own record company. I want to be part owner of an NBA team. I want
the Miami Heat.
Yes, exactly. I want to be able to have at least a couple platinum selling albums. I do, if I make it, I do plan to retire by the time I'm like 45. That's I think that's a good age to just retire from music entirely. Because I like I said, I had the whole like album rollout. Like I know what album is going to be my last if I was to get big. So like I know to plan for that. But like if it happens like where I just eventually get sick of music and I just want to go on and do other things, that's fine. I do want to act in movies. I do want to act in superhero movies because I'm a big superhero nerd. You as well. And like I would like to be in a Marvel movie eventually, so like that's something that's on the bucket list as well.
The MCU will be in Phase 10 by then.
That's what I'm saying. like if I can be in a Phase like Marvel movie, or like if anything, just put me in like a Marvel movie as like
an extra or some shit.
No, I don't want to be no damn extra. I want to have a starring role.
You can still get the check for being an extra. Maybe.
I know, but still, I want a starring role. Like put me in like Gwyneth Paltrow's like position of a role. But like that's what I want to do. I just want to be able to own my businesses, be able to make music, live in a nice house out in somewhere like in California, because I do want to eventually move to California full time, and just be able to say that I've accomplished working with the people that I want to work with, because obviously I'm a big J. Cole fan, so that's definitely top. I want to like if I have the resources, I'm going to be like, get me J. Cole so I can get him on my album, my debut studio album. I want him on it. Like that's
blow the whole budget of the marketing. Honestly, blow the whole marketing budget on a feature.
Honestly, bro, I would do it. I'd be like, yeah, J. Cole's the only feature.
Up here wearing the Logic hoodie, talking
exactly,
about J. Cole.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I'll definitely work with Logic too. But yeah, that's what I want to do, like at least 10 years from now.
Any final words of wisdom today for the listeners?
Don't take any, negativity from anybody.
I didn't know where that was going for a minute. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say don't take any drugs or don't take any classes at Walsh.
Those, yes.
That too.
That too. Don't take any negativity. Don't let people deter you. There's always going to be people that want to tell you that this dream is nice, but you should always like have like a backup plan. And like I said, I have a backup plan, but like this is my main focus. Is like I want to be able to do this and make a career out of music, and I want to build a career, because like you and me have had these discussions. We don't want to live the regular 9-to-5 life. We want to be able to say that like we can make money off of our music and like our business ventures and do stuff that we want to do, instead of like just doing what is expected of you to do. So if you have a passion, I just say go out and chase it. Don't let anyone deter you from that, and just stay true to yourself. Don't try and fake for people and think because you follow a certain trend or certain mold that people are gonna like you and respect you. That's not true. Eventually the trends fade and everyone just wants to hop onto the next big thing. So just do what's right to you, what you want to do, and not what Twitter is like trending on. So that's pretty much what I gotta say.
Well, that's it.
That's done.
That's a wrap there.
It's the episode.
That's the wrap for 2021 right there.
2021.
Yeah, that's a wrap. So taking next week off for Christmas and New Year's and everything. Be back in 2 weeks with episode 83. And also, we're getting a new series going in 2021 called The Innovators. So this was the creators. We're going to keep doing the creators series. We're going to start doing part 2s of the creators. We're also starting the Innovators series. We're going to have people from the tech world of music. We're going to have music supervisors, a lot of different cool people and guests coming in. And we're going to be getting that going probably, I looked at the schedule. I think it's going to be around May of 2022, based on what I did my little math there. And right after the 100th episode of the Creators Premieres, we're going to be getting into the innovators and kind of just giving more sides to the music industry and getting more cool guests on and everything. So, but obviously, Jay, you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, yeah.
You're a founder, you're a co-founder of this whole
co-founder
thing.
of Proven Knowledge.
And, we got to get you up here more often. And obviously, we're going to keep doing this every year at the end of the year anyway. So, and we obviously, got to still post our recaps of our favorite albums.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely doing that. Yeah, that honestly could be like a preview of my podcast, honestly. Because like I said, probably spring of next year, I should have the podcast fully figured out and what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
So I just need some time. But that'll be another series coming to Proven Knowledge. Another podcast. He's got the Innovators series and the Creator series. I'm gonna have my own little series to go off of, and we can make the end of year recap with our favorite albums because we do that every year anyway. Yeah. Just because we love music. Yeah. So that could be like a little prelude to what we got planned. But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. We got a bunch of stuff coming at you guys.
And a bunch of music. So get ready for a ton of music. And
not from Alan Michael Cabasa.
No, not but okay, everyone. That was 2021. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you in 2 weeks here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast.